Hello, happy Transfer Tuesday. It's the first Tuesday of October, so we have quite a few transfers to go over. Not only was last week a paycheck week, but we also had most of our debts come out that are just paid monthly. If you're new here, I'm Kathy, a wife and a mother of a toddler, and we're currently working on paying down what was over $500,000 of debt. And these Transfer Tuesdays have been super helpful for us to really stay motivated and hold me accountable towards paying extra towards our debt and also doing some saving and investing along the way. If you're new to Transfer Tuesday, it's just the day of the week where we try to make money moves in a positive direction. So that's paying off debt or saving or investing. And we're doing a little bit of all of those things. And today we will be making some debt payments and also some investments. So first I'll start with our automatic transactions. I got paid last week, so I had some automatic deductions from my paycheck, both towards my retirement account and my retirement account loan. So first I contribute 4% to my workplace retirement plan, and that 4% is contributed after tax and then rolled into the Roth portion of my plan. It's technically a mega backdoor contribution. However, I haven't maxed out my contributions for the year. This is just the way that I'm choosing to contribute right now, even though I don't have to. But that contribution was $210.76. And then I also had some additional earnings in this account, which I've been going over my dividends a little bit more recently. When those come up, it seems that they're coming up a little bit more frequently right now. It must be end of quarter stuff. But I had $51.72 more in dividends in this account. And then my workplace matches my contributions. They do a 200% match on my 4%, so they contribute 8%. And they also do a base 2.5%. So altogether, my workplace contributes 10.5%, and that was $553.24. I also had earnings in this account, a little bit more than in my account, and that was $246.87. And then I also made a repayment to my retirement account loan. This is a loan I took out to use as a down payment on my house. It was a $50,000 loan, and I took it out in 2021. It has a 4.25% interest rate, and I pay all of this interest right back to my retirement account. And that payment, every paycheck, is $236.22. And so after I made this payment, my loan balance was just over $22,500. And so I had been making extra payments towards this, so I am paying it off faster than the 10 years that it should be paid off. I have paid off more than half of it, and it's only been 4 years now. And I'm going to continue making extra payments through the end of the year and hopefully get it paid off by the end of the year. So the amount that I've been paying towards this loan extra is usually equal to my take-home paycheck, because we're trying to live off of just my husband's salary. Although there are technically some things that I still need to cover with my paycheck, like daycare, but if I weren't working, then I wouldn't have to pay for daycare. So we did have quite a bit saved up that I could use to pay off this loan, but we're just making extra contributions every time I get paid, and they've been equal to my paycheck. So last week, right after I got paid, I contributed that entire $3,120 towards this loan, and it didn't come out before the actual payment came out, even though technically I initiated this payment 2 days before the standard payment, but making that payment brought the loan down to around $19,450. So we have crossed the $20,000 mark, and that's very exciting that we have less than $20,000 to go on this loan. And I expect that it will be paid off by the end of the year if I continue going like this. We also had most of our other debts come out this week. We pay our mortgage typically around the 1st of the month, and then we have my husband's student loans that are always paid on the 6th. So our mortgage came out on the 2nd, I think it was, and that mortgage payment is $2,095. It's actually a little bit less than that, but I round it up to that, so I pay an extra $1.53 towards principal. But this payment has brought our mortgage down to $428,739.14. So we make about $900 of principal. It's getting closer to $1,000, and then it's about $1,000 of interest. So I'm looking forward to the day that we are paying more in principal than we are in interest. But our mortgage interest rate is only 2.875, I believe. And so we're not really planning on paying this down early because our high yield savings account actually earns us more interest than we're paying towards this loan. And we can also get more in the stock market when we contribute to our retirement accounts. So we're not really focusing on paying this back early, even though it would be really nice to not have any more debt payments, including a mortgage. But I think it makes more sense for us to just pay the minimum on this with a tiny little extra just to make it a round number, and just focus on our other debts, which also aren't very high interest, but we would like to get our monthly payments down so that we don't need to make quite so much money in order to survive on a day-to-day basis. And then we paid my husband's student loans just yesterday. That payment currently is $382. This is for the 10-year plan if we were to pay them off in 10 years, although we would probably pay them off a little bit early because we are contributing a little bit more towards the highest interest rate loan, which is currently only 4.28%. So these also aren't very high interest, and we don't really need to be paying them off super early. But again, we would like to reduce our monthly payments. So making this payment brought my husband's student loans down to just over $31,000. These were originally like $36,000, so we've made a little bit of progress in the past 2 years, just paying the minimum payment. And then our one final transfer for the week was another automatic one. I contributed $5 to Acorns, which is my after-tax brokerage account, and this is just my automatic contribution every month. I'm not really focusing on this account because we are focusing more heavily on paying down some of our debts, but it's still nice to contribute every single month towards this account, even though that $5 isn't going very far right now. But we do have plenty of time for it to compound and continue to grow. So hopefully that little $5 will be quite a bit more in the future. Right now our account is at around $19,500, and so I'm really excited about that because it's had quite a bit of growth since I started it in about 2020. Even just contributing small amounts has been really beneficial for us. But that is everything for my transfers today. Let me know in the comments if you made any transfers and what goals you're working towards, because I would love to hear about it and cheer you on as well. I hope these videos are motivating for you also, as I hold myself accountable to my transfers. I hope that they inspire you to make some strides towards your goals as well. And if you're interested in seeing more of our family's journey as we work towards paying off debt, then I would love to have you subscribe and follow along. Thank you for being here.